The Depth to Delve Deep by Rote Writer. Chapter 13 Withdrawals. Rote's worn out with his roommate's less than welcome ways, and now another annoyance adds to an already unbearable situation. He realizes his supply of acetaminophen with codeine brought over, 2 generic containers of 200 caplets, are about to run out. Rote's already finished smoking the 2 cartons of cigarettes passed through customs. He's only entitled to bring 1 carton. Upon realizing the faux pas, he approaches the customs agent on arrival, guilt-ridden after seeing signs specifying only 1 carton per traveler. He makes an effort to come forth with his infringement, and is waved off almost in a "don't bother me with your trivial pursuits when we are here worried about terrorists" kind of attitude. Anyway, you can always buy British brands of tobacco, for the brand name he smokes originates in Scotland. The mother of the inn, upon seeing the logo lodged like a sailor's seal on it, says so. It prompts the memory of her father, who favors the same brand. Rote can smoke another brand, but he will not be able to replace the acetaminophen with codeine. It's only sold behind the counter in his country. When the day comes to be without the acetaminophen with codeine, he braces himself for the inevitable withdrawals. A given. It's an awful affliction. He's been taking over 40 a day for nearly a decade as a deterrent to distance the debilitating dilemma. It's a discomfort dished daily by a nasal nightmare, a sinus sentence. He soon bears a physical phantasm of bondage. He bears it knowing no other way but through it. He twists in torrents of torment as if hell sent every night. All night his head pounds with each heartbeat. He's bewitched by a bitch of an itch that makes him twitch by the bother, and with no end in sight he struggles with sleep. He's sure to suffer months of manic moods. At night before bed he does push-ups, maybe 1 or 2 to start, but slowly and surely, instead of 1 likened to 100, 100 are likened to 1. He reaches right or left, up or down, or for anything found, to release the restrictive reins wrapping around his forearms. They take the brunt of the bane, and in the same vein become the main drain of this devilish dew. Determined to distract further attention from the madness of going cold turkey, he finds more things to do on his days off, including drinking a little more heavily at night. The headaches and the lack of sleep that even a night of carousing can't overcome cause him great concern. Now nearing a month at the inn, Rote realizes he still has a return ticket that will take him back to the land of acetaminophen and codeine. He wrestles with that as well as with his physical phantasms. As the decisive date comes and goes, Rote remains where he is, determined to beat his addiction to the death. The withdrawals never relent. They seem to only grow, and mixed with his uncomfortable living arrangement, his life becomes a living hell. He has to leave the lot, but how? The longer he stays, it seems the longer he will remain, having already seen how some of the other employees stay past the point envisioned. With that in mind, he's surprised to see himself placed in the bar one day to serve both as the barman and the waiter. This is a welcome change, for he spent the entirety of being an employee in the kitchen. Rote with reserve registers remarks made the first night behind the bar as the barkeep. The other employees, including his roommate, come as clientele to the bar in a time shift continuum. They bestow him with praise. Each one relays to the other while reaching for their pint. That's a perfectly poured pint. Rote the barman beams. Unfortunately, the next day an inn cleaner is also behind the bar with him, and she seems to be more determined to prove herself to remain in that position than Rote.